you a womb twin survivor? Physical evidence.
I know my twin was stillborn or miscarried.
In this case, everyone will probably know that you once had a twin, but you may not have been told. It may be possible to establish this from medical records. If you have been told, your family may not realize what this loss has meant to you. If your twin was lost as a result of an early miscarriage, it may not have occurred to your parents to tell you. It is possible that no one except your mother knows anything about it. If you have older siblings, they may remember your mother thinking she had miscarried the whole pregnancy, but remaining pregnant after all.
My mother had vaginal bleeding in early pregnancy.
It is possible that your mother had more than one episode of bleeding without passing anything recognizable. This may be a sign that more than one embryo was lost. Rosie was about 8 weeks pregnant but started to have some bleeding, so the doctor advised bed rest. When the bleeding stopped, she went for a scan. There was something still in the womb and a curettage was suggested. On the day it was scheduled, she called in at the doctor's on the way to the hospital. She had taken a sample that morning, so the doctor carried out a pregnancy test. It was positive. Her daughter was born 7 months later.
I was conceived by in vitro fertilization with multiple embryo implantation.
It was once usual to introduce several embryos into the womb at once, in order to increase the possibilities of pregnancy. Even today, more than one embryo is introduced as routine. If you were conceived by IVF in the early days, the chances are that you are the survivor of a multiple pregnancy. The incidence of twinning, both identical and fraternal, is increased by IVF. It may also be that a multiple pregnancy achieved by IVF was reduced to twins by means of selective feticide, and you are the survivor. A twin pregnancy may be reduced to a singleton birth by this method, especially if one of the twins has a congenital abnormality. The bodies of any embryos selected for feticide remain in the womb until birth. As pregnancy reduction is a recent development, most of the survivors of this procedure are children less than 10 years old. They are all womb twin survivors.
I have an ultrasound scan showing a vanished twin.
If you were conceived before 1980, it is unlikely that a scan would have been made. If one was made, you may have been given the scan picture, or it may still be in your parents' possession. It would be worth seeing if it still exists. For instance, Allie was told about her twin when she was a young girl. In her parents' photograph album, there is a picture of the first scan that shows a vague image of Allie's lost twin. She often wonders why she was the one chosen to live. Donna was about 6 years old when she overheard her mother telling a friend that Donna was a twin, but the other embryo just vanished. Donna never thought about it until 10 years later, when she did some research and learned about vanishing twins. Then, all of a sudden, some things just made sense.
A fetus papyraceous was found attached to my placenta at birth.
If you were born before 1980, it is very unlikely that the presence of a fetus papyraceous would have been noticed, registered, or spoken of to your parents. However, there may be something in your birth records.
I have one or more growths containing the remains of my twin.
Dermoid cysts and teratomas containing bones, teeth, and hair have been found in all parts of the body, even the brain. These are probably all that remains of an identical twin who died and was absorbed into the survivor's embryonic body as it was being formed. Sheila was always fascinated by twins from a very young age and would pretend she had a twin. When she was little, she always wanted a sister and would beg her mother for one. It felt like something was missing. When she was 13, she started getting a bad pain on her lower right side. As she got older, the pain got worse. After she graduated from high school, the pain got so severe that she went to the hospital. They took out a dermoid cyst, a little bigger than a softball. They said it had contained teeth and hair. That was the first time she had ever heard about the vanishing twin theory, but it explained a lot to her.